Alright, good morning everyone. Everyone likes the weather? Pretty cold today, right? Warm up for today. We have who was the dictator of Germany during World War II? And the second question, prediction slash opinion, how strong do you think Germany's military was after its rebuilding process? So keep in mind, the Treaty of Versailles was meant to limit Germany's military, right? They weren't allowed to create weapons, and their army had to be at least 100,000, or at the most, I would say, 100,000 men. And we all know Hitler went against that. He took that number times 6, created an army of 600,000 men, started building a lot of planes, a lot of tanks, a lot of U-boats, completely, uplifting the military. So who can tell me? We should know by now. Who was the dictator of Germany over to everyone? Adolf Hitler. Perfect. Adolf Hitler. And let's see, Joseph. How strong do you think Germany's military is going to be, after this rebuilding? Do you think it's going to match up with established countries like Great Britain or France?
Maybe like most of them, yeah, but I don't think it's really sure.
Not stronger than all of them,
No,
stronger than
yeah,
before,
most of them.
definitely, right? Anyone thinks that it's not gonna be as strong, like definitely not enough. Not so much. Alright, that's good that we're thinking ahead, right? Because today we're gonna learn about a military strategy that Germany used called Blitzkrieg, and we're gonna go over some key battles at the beginning of World War II. As far as the warm-up, number 1, Adolf Hitler. 2, that's your prediction. Let's all close our computers. Open up a fresh page in our notes. I'll remind you guys, phones, earbuds away. Okay, I want everyone's 100% attention. Let's title these notes Hitler's Lightning War, Module 14, Lesson 1. So, pretty much this whole week, a little bit of last week, we've been learning about the leaders, how they came to power, kind of the politics, their government, their views, right? How they became powerful, what their visions are, and how we're going to see the actual battles, right? At least on Adolf Hitler's side. How he went about the war, the debate. Ready to start? Alright, World War II began in 1939, so that as you're heading, right away we're given our two sides. The Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan. And all these countries have what kind of a leader? A dictator, right? Germany, Italy, Japan, they all have dictators. And the Allied powers, aka the good guys, Great Britain, and who do we see there? Soviet Union, right? What kind of government do they have? What kind of leader do they have? The Soviet Union. Said it on the right. Dictator? They have a dictator. Now what's a dictator doing on the Allies? You might ask yourself, right? We're gonna find out later why a dictator ends up on the Allies. Also, we have France and the United States going a little later. Now, by any chance, we should have covered, I believe we did, why does the Soviet Union join the Allies? I don't know, remember what happens? What happens between Germany and the Soviet Union? Why the Soviets become allies? I think Anna, you had your hand up, right? What happened?
I think it's because like a pact.
They made a pact, right?
In Germany, because no los unió.
They made a pact, right? They were going to attack each other. Germany ends up attacking the Soviet Union. That's what the Soviet Union joins the Allies. Good. All right, we're going to go over that again today. So at the start of the war, Germany invades Poland. Right? This was the start of World War II, the invasion of Poland. Right? The strategy that Adolf Hitler uses this was an all-out use of his resources. So he used his troops, he used tanks, and he used his Luftwaffe and the Air Force, the planes. So the poor Polish soldiers or military, not nearly as developed as Germany or other of the bigger powers, completely wiped out. Within 5 days, Adolf Hitler was able to take over Poland. At least his left side, right, the west side. Remember the east, the Soviet Union was attacking from that side as well. But within 5 days, through this strategy of his troops, right, tanks as well, causing major destruction, and bombings from up above in the skies. So they were getting hit in all directions. And through this strategy, he was able to go to Norway, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, and France. There's a key battle in France, Dunkirk, along the coast. You'll learn more about it in your assignment, but really quickly, you pretty much had all the French soldiers and the Allies cornered, right, in the coast. But they were able to evacuate all their men. So even though it was a loss for the Allies, it's still considered a win, because they got like the hundreds of thousands of soldiers evacuated, got them to England. Right, we'll read more about that later. So I guess it's more of a boost of morale than Battle of Dunkirk. Who can tell me what that monument is about? It's the Eiffel Tower. What country is that located in? France. And who's that standing in front of it? Adolf Hitler. Now, why would Adolf Hitler choose to take a picture at the most notable monument in France? Show that he conquered, right? Showing his dominance. So I'm here, right at the most famous part of the country, right? So it's a demonstration of dominance. Really good. Here we have some Nazi soldiers marching through the city. Map battles. This is what I was talking about. So Nazis were pushing the French, the Allies, all the way back to Dunkirk along that coast. Right there, that's the North Sea. Right? And they were able to rescue, I want to say like 300,000 of those soldiers to bring them over to England. So even though they pushed them out, they were still to rescue all their soldiers. So it was still a win. Alright, let's take a good look at this. Those are the tanks we're talking about, used, for the ground, for the Blitzkrieg strategy. So that was the heavy, weapons used at the bottom along with the plane. You can see all the destruction in the back. There we go, 3 men, tanks, and airplanes combined. Think of Blitzkrieg, just think of all of those weapons being used at once, just carving through Europe. One of those battles that were in the air using the Luftwaffe was the Battle of Britain. So the Prime Minister Winston Churchill would not give up. London was being bombed every day for 57 nights, almost 2 months, constant bombing in London. The Prime Minister of Britain, Winston Churchill, would not give up. Right? He was brave, courageous, and he had trust in his army, his British Royal Air Force. They mounted great counterattacks. They had technology on their side to intercept those planes, and they came out with a win. Right? Hitler thought he was going to have it easy. Right? He already pushed all the way through. When he got to London, he got met with a wall. That wall being the British Air Force. So Hitler ended those attacks. Goes to show how strong the British heart is in the military, and going up against a big superpower, military superpower like Germany. I have a short video after this.
In 1940, Adolf Hitler planned an invasion of Britain by air and sea called Operation Sea Lion. When poor weather conditions and logistical problems forced him to call it off, Hitler instead launched a massive aerial bombing of England. Thus began the Blitz. The Blitz, short for Blitzkrieg, lasted for 8 long months, despite the literal translation of the word being lightning war. Beginning in September 1940, the German Luftwaffe bombed 16 British cities. London got the worst of it, being bombed nearly 71 times, and at one point for 57 consecutive nights. The repeated intensive bombings claimed over 1 million homes and 40,000 civilian lives, and forced mass evacuations. Despite the damage and terror caused by the Blitz, the British managed to keep calm and carry on. The war effort and economy were relatively unaffected by the Blitz, which had been intended to break their morale and force their surrender. By May 1941, the British still refused to give in, and Hitler gave up his plan to directly invade Britain. He then turned his attention to Operation Barbarossa, a high-concept plan to invade Russia that turned out to be the beginning of the end of World War II.
Getting elected president is an
Someone turn on the lights, please.
In 1940,
Alright, so Operation Barbarossa mentioned really, towards the end of the video. And he said it was the beginning of the end. Because, Anna mentioned that Hitler broke that pact with Russia, or the Soviet Union, I should say. Pretty much backstabbed them. But Russia, the Soviet Union, they're a force to be reckoned with as well. And Hitler suffered major defeats, especially at Stalingrad, trying to go after the Soviet Union. So this was the beginning of the end for Germany, creating another enemy, right? Because the Soviet Union wasn't part of the Allies or the Axis, they were just on their own. Once Hitler decided to attack them, join the Allies, and like I said, it was just another enemy added on another front. And those Russian winters were not helpful for German soldiers. They weren't well equipped enough to survive those winters out on the battlefield. This is the Soviet Union's territory, that's their homeland. They're well equipped, they have the proper resources needed to survive and continue to fight during those harsh conditions. The Germans weren't. That was a major factor. Historians still to this day wonder what would have happened if Adolf Hitler never decided to attack the Soviet Union. What would have been the outcome? Because this was, like I said, a major defeat. Also known as Operation Barbarossa. That's what it was called. So I want you guys read Operation Barbarossa, just think about it as being a big defeat, a very poor decision by Hitler. So just to give you guys perspective, just look at Germany and just look at the size of the Soviet Union. So all the graves what he had been controlling, but now he's going up against this big country itself. That's kind of the direction that Hitler was trying to attack. So the north to Leningrad, towards the middle here, kind of heading towards Moscow, here to England. Like we said, unsuccessful. Just look at the casualties that they were suffering. Arlette, can you explain to me kind of what's going on here? You recognize those two people in that cartoon? What do they look like? Hitler, right? What's he holding? Knife. He's stabbing Stalin. Right? It says here, forgive me, comrade, but it seemed such a good opportunity. And as getting stabbed, he's dropping the pact that they had signed. Right? So this is just a visual, little cartoon representation of what happened. Adolf Hitler backstabbing Stalin, and he ended up having to pay for that. Right? Because after all the defeats, that was a turning point in World War II. Now, what's the United States doing at this time? They're still isolationists, but the Allies wanted some kind of support. The current president of the time, serving his third term, right? Usually presidents only serve 2 terms, but in war times, rules kind of get bent a little bit. He wins his third term, but he promises the American people that there's a quote right there: your boys are not going to be sent into any foreign wars. So he was going to keep young American men out of this European conflict, also known as World War II. But he ultimately gives in under some conditions. He wasn't going to send men. Instead, he was going to send weapons in the Lend-Lease Act. Right? He was willing to help out, but only for resources, the weapons that they could use. But he was not going to send men at this point. Now, we don't mention in the slides yet, but what ultimately brings the United States into the war? Which country attacked the United States? You guys remember? Mexico. On the coast, there were ships involved. Japan, Pearl Harbor. Right, that doesn't happen until that year. So yes, Pearl Harbor is not mentioned here, but yes, you guys know, have some good background knowledge on that. But at first, the Lend-Lease Act, so here you go, you have some American weapons, but we're not gonna send American soldiers, not just yet. You ready for question time? Don't run through your notes. World War II began after the invasion of which country, and name of the German military strategy of World War II. Take a minute, talk to your neighbors, look over your notes. Juan, do you have the answer for number 1? Poland, correct. The invasion of Poland started World War II. Mia, what was the name of the German military strategy for World War II? That was when he attacked the Soviet Union, looking for the military strategy. Who can help Mia? Back. Blitzkrieg? Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg, also known as Lightning War. That was a military strategy that Germany used to carve its way through Europe. Didn't work against the Soviet Union. Good job, guys. Alright, let's open up our computers now. Alright, post the slides just in case you missed anything. We're gonna do notes. Let's refresh our Google Classroom. Okay. This is the assignment. This is a partnered assignment. So I'll give you a second right now to stand up and move around, but first, let's look. Right, we have the definition of Blitzkrieg. We're gonna provide an image, key features, places where it was taking place. We have a short video, 4 questions attached to that. And here's where you and your partner are gonna work together. One of you is gonna read the Battle of Dunkirk, give me 5 main ideas, and the Battle of Britain, 5 of those, and in the middle, you're gonna share what they both have in common. After that, we're gonna answer this prompt. How effective was the blitzkrieg strategy at the beginning of World War II? Alright, both of you guys are gonna give me individual answers to that. I don't mind you guys sharing ideas, but let's have original answers to these questions. And at the end, we have a thin slide. Is there any questions with the assignment? No? Okay, you guys may stand up, move around with your partner. I'll be walking around helping out. One other thing, try to open it through Safari. A lot of students are having trouble looking at the YouTube video. So use Safari, guys, because Google Chrome sometimes will let you watch the video. Santiago Garcia and Michael Rosas, group 73 for testing. Santiago? Right. Testing.
Where's that? Oh, okay. Okay. Do I leave my stuff or do I take that? De ahí o de la pantalla.
No, yo soy estudiante. Yo estoy en todo. Por eso, estudiante y el último.
I'm gonna need your phone though. Juan? Oh, Michael was absent, sorry. Angela Guerrero? Rosie. Oh, did you open it to? Oh, wait. Yeah, you want to. You got me there. Back then it's like a fast, Did you leave your phone? Remember guys, individual submissions, don't forget, everyone gets credit, just type it in the comments who you worked with.
¿Cómo se dice?